What's up, rankers? Another big week for Google, specifically Google+. There's a story out today from Paul Allen, and he's got a post actually up on Google+, and he said that Google+ will pass 10 million users today, and that seems to be fairly accurate. He's also made the extraordinary claim, though, that 20 million users by the weekend for Google+. And Paul Allen, if you don't know, he's the guy who founded Ancestry.com. So he's a pretty sensible bloke. And that's an extraordinary number of users to have for a service that's not even open to the public yet. It's by limited invitation only. And it hasn't even been live for a fortnight. Now, I've been spending a lot of time, and I've logged a lot of hours on Google+, and it's an extraordinary tool for a number of reasons, and for its just pure usability. But I guess I'm spending less time on Facebook, and I'm spending less time on Twitter. For instance, you know, I won't fire up TweetDeck at the moment here because it'll grind my machine to a halt, because there are so many updates coming through all the feeds that I follow. And really, it's like Brian Solis says, it's, you know, the poker machine or the slot machine where you just see things whiz past. And if you're following any keyword searches on Twitter, like SEO, for instance, or even Google+, as I tried to do today, the windows on Twitter just, you can't follow them. It's too hard. And when you do see a tweet that you like and you go and try and find it in one of those windows, it's impossible because it's already gone. Google+ handles that a lot better, and it threads things. So you get a conversation like you would say on Facebook, for instance. And, you know, for instance, you know, this is my profile page. But I don't want to get too much into the details of Google+ and how it works, but there's a number of things why it works that make it work so well. Like this over here, this tells me notifications that I may have already on Google+ or people that have responded to things. I can actually then simply just reply straight within the environment of Gmail. And if the growth will probably be obviously slower in Australia because, you know, I would say the majority of Australians who are on Facebook probably don't have Gmail accounts. I know that's a big call, and I have absolutely no evidence to support that, except the people who have friended me on Facebook, and certainly family and friends that I know certainly do not have a Gmail account. However, 5 million Australians last year accessed YouTube. YouTube is, of course, owned by Gmail. And we already know that Google is tying Gmail accounts to YouTube logins. So there will be a progression path there where they will try to get YouTube users on to Gmail accounts. And I'm sure, I haven't seen it, but I'm sure they're already promoting get a Gmail account to people who access YouTube. And if you want to leave a comment on a video on YouTube, of course, then you have to have a YouTube account. And any new YouTube accounts will be linked to Google profiles. So I think that's where, certainly in Australia, we'll start to see real growth for Google+, because more Australians will have Gmail accounts. So what does that mean for SEO? Well, last week I told you about how content was getting ranked, or how it looked like content was getting ranked in the Sparks environment within Google+. And that was more to do with time sensitivity of content, plus the sorts of likes and those sorts of things that have happened. Well, if we have a look at a post from that I did last week, Google+ and SEO, and this is just a quick search on it, and you'll see here the post is number 1 and number 2, but you'll also see here that it says, I shared this. Now, I've also +1'd it, and I'll get to the +1 in a second. The reason that it's got this little bit of information here is that I'm currently logged into a Gmail account, which is attached to this profile. Where did I share this? Well, I shared it on Twitter, but I'm not currently logged into Twitter within this browser. So Google knows that I've shared this because my Google profile is linked to my Twitter profile, and it knows that I shared it on Twitter. Still with me? If we go across to, say, another browser, and we do the same search, and we do Google, you'll see here that I shared it and I shared it, right? Still with me? However, neither of these accounts, well, here, that one is me, but I don't know if you can even see that, but you will notice that this one is also me. And these are both connected to my different Google profiles, because I've got, like a lot of people who got onto Google Plus early, a lot of us had several Gmail accounts, and we never really used our Google profiles, but now we have to. And a lot of us said, which one do I use? So I've settled on one main one, which I'll show you the URL for in a second, when you do get onto Google Plus. But if we go back to this result here, you'll notice it's actually a different photograph. So yes, I do have 3 different Google accounts, and these are all connected to different Google profiles. And you'll see this one here, I +1'd it. And you'll see this one here, which is connected to the Gmail account that I'm logged into at the moment, and is also connected to the same Twitter account, saying that I shared it. What does that mean? Well, if we go to another browser and we do the same search, you'll see that we've only got the number 1 position. We don't have number 1 and 2, and there are no little things saying that Jim Stewart's shared this. So all the sharing stuff does, and the +1 stuff does, is that it lets your network of contacts know that you have recommended this or liked this. And if that happens, you will get more results, and you will get results higher in the rankings for your network of contacts, not for random people. So it's for people who already know who you are. So this notion of people going around selling, hey, we'll give you 7,000 +1s, it's not really useful at all. It isn't going to, say, artificially raise your ranking in the SERPs. What is important, however, is that you get a good profile and you look after it and you contribute and you do all those things like engaging. Because these things are eventually going to add to your ranking through what we talked about 2 weeks ago, which was authorship code. For instance, if I +1 something in the Google SERPs, it announces it to my friends and network of contacts. If people are +1ing things like they are down here within the Google Plus environment, and over time if I get a lot of +1s through my network within Google Plus, Google is going to think, well, lots of people like his stuff, therefore, not that this is my piece of information here, that I've actually just reshared someone else's piece of information, and I've got a Google Plus. But I've got some +1s here. But what it means is that I have a reputable Google profile, and that Google profile, when it's then connected back to pieces of content, like we discussed in the Google authorship post, is going to influence your ranking. And that's what will influence your ranking. Google authorship and how you maintain your Google profile and how other people engage with your Google profile, I believe, is going to be the new PageRank. And that is it for this week's show. Hope to see you next week. Thanks very much. Bye.